Tradition, as is traditional. The royal easel announcing the birth. It was brought to the gates of Buckingham Palace and it bore a message from the Queen. It says the Queen and the royal family are delighted that the news of Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex was safely delivered of her son at 5:26, an early riser today. Her Royal Highness and her child are both doing well. This is the traditional way. Unfortunately, by the time we got this, Prince Harry and his wife Meghan had already shared it all on their joint Instagram account at Sussex-Royal. All the details there, which begs the question, going back to the easel, I mean, this poor easel, it's there. It shows the royal family is marrying modernity with tradition, which is exactly what we're doing with our CNN royal commentator, Victoria Arbiter, who is here. Right, all right, Victoria, I can feel you're bristling at our less than royal easel, but it makes the point.
It makes the point. Not quite as ostentatious, but it's a good effort.
Look, it's interesting to see how royals are using social media. From historical photos to family news, they're posting and interacting with legions of supporters. Look at this. There's 5.5 million followers for @royal_family. They saw the Queen post for the first time back in March. But more interesting, Harry and Meghan have created their own account. They went their own way, and they've already got 6.2 million followers. And I mean, the baby announcement has got 2.1 million likes. How does the royal family negotiate this?
Well, I think today is a perfect illustration of how we are marrying this idea of tradition and the modern way of doing things. Before Meghan married into the royal family, she had a huge following on social media herself. The Tig was her blog, and she promoted that on Instagram. And so, obviously, they are aware that a huge number of their fans follow them on Instagram, hence the news.
But isn't there a danger that it just becomes a mouthpiece for official nonsense? You know, the sort of stuff you can find on the newspapers and in the gossip rags anyway. What value added do you get from their tweets and Instagramination?
I think there's 2 points, Richard. First of all, speed. You mentioned a newspaper. Well, that's tomorrow. We get that news tomorrow. This is instantaneous. This is right now. But more importantly, I think why the fans are gravitating is particularly in the last couple of weeks, we've seen posts that look like they've been written by Meghan. And so suddenly people feel like she's accessible. She's right there. The reason we think it's her is we've seen the use of diapers versus nappies. We've seen XOs instead of XXs, which is what Brits would traditionally write. So there are all these little clues that it's Meghan actually doing some of the posts. The fans like that. That makes her accessible.
How close? I mean, the two sides of the family, the Cambridges and the Sussexes. Let's just go straight for it. Do they still get on? What about this war supposedly between Meghan and Kate?
Meghan and Kate. Absolutely nothing to that story whatsoever.
Oh, come on.
No, I think what we've seen here, there's been a little of this with the stubborn Windsor brothers. Now, there's been huge speculation. What could this be about? There's no question there's something going on, but it's William and Harry.
William and Harry, OK. Royal titles for these for baby Sussex?
Well, if we don't get an HRH princely status from the Queen, this little boy will be Earl of Dumbarton, Lord, first name Mountbatten Windsor. Earl of Dumbarton being one of Harry's subsidiary titles.
But why that one?
Well, that one because Harry's using Duke of Sussex, and so Earl of Dumbarton is the next title down, and so that's the one that this baby will be known by.
Earl of Dumbarton. Do you think he's going to become a prince?
I don't think so. Now, I'm not a betting person, but according to the 1917 letters patent from George V, this baby's not eligible to be a prince. This is no slight, it's no malice, but the Queen does things the way they've always been done before. When in doubt, she sticks to tradition.